and I love it. So.
Oh, good.
So how does this all work when you get approached about anything Dallas? You get on the phone with Patrick and Larry immediately? You guys seem to, Patrick indicated there's a patch, that you don't want to do this without the other two involved.
Oh, it's true. It's true. There was an immediate bonding, I think, when we first met. Larry started it because he walked in the room in Burbank in 1977, and with his carved JR saddlebags over one shoulder, cowboy hat. They were filled with ice with 2 bottles of champagne. And that was my introduction to J.R. Ewing. And that was a table read that we had. And I haven't stopped laughing ever since. And that was really the bonding that happened. So when the three of us are together, we were just talking about it. There's something that happens after a 35-year relationship. We trust each other, we respect each other. And it's kind of like brothers and sisters that can bicker amongst themselves, but if anybody else tries, forget it, it's like we're there. That doesn't even happen very much anymore, but we're really there for each other, and there's a trust level.
Any concerns about bringing the show back before, when it was first proposed to you? Did you have any thoughts about it? Maybe not.
Well, I did, because 2 years ago we received a call, the three of us, individually, and they said, would you be interested in bringing the show back with the three of you and a younger generation? Would you be interested? That was the word. And I said, yes, I would be interested. They called Patrick, they called Larry, and then we called each other and said, would we be interested? Of course we'd be interested. So 2 years later, we had not heard one more word, nothing. So we were teased, and we felt terrible. We got excited for a moment, and then nothing. So when we got this call, we thought, I was skeptical, because I thought, what is this, another 2-year wait, another tease? I was not really enthralled. And Patrick said, well, it has to do with the script, and we didn't know in what direction they were going to take us. Where were they going to take this iconic show that was respected globally, loved by so many? People had their great stories about sitting on their couch, with mama and grandma and all that. So we wanted to make sure that this new series had respect attached, because they already had this global family in place. And then they were going to bring new people in. Was it going to be a TNA show? What was it? What was it going to be? Sleazy, tacky? What were they going to do? And just drag us in to be these characters that people remembered to start off the show, and then sort of whittle us away. We didn't know. So I was the skeptic. Patrick didn't want a script. Larry does as he's told. So there we were. So the Three Musketeers were waiting for a script, basically.
You must have been ecstatic when you saw the pilot script.
I wasn't.
Oh, really?
No, I love the script. But the way I read the whole script, loved the whole script, and I didn't like what they were doing with Sue Ellen. I thought, where's Sue Ellen? Where is she? And the interesting thing, after I read the first script twice, because I usually read it, the big picture, and then I dissect it. How does it feel? What does that organic feel about it? Do I feel it right? Does it have all the right elements? Have they treated it with respect? And all those things were right, but I thought JR has his character, Bobby has his character, but what are they doing with Sue Ellen? So I was very concerned. And then I had a little flash. I flashed back to 1978, January of 78 in Dallas, Texas. And Sue Ellen was speaking to J.R. Ewing at a dining room, and she said, "More coffee, J.R." Now, that's not a very big role. Sue Ellen was not meant to be important in the original show at all. So I flashed back and I thought, I'm a little concerned about this new Sue Ellen in the new 10 episodes, But wasn't I concerned back then as well? She started off very small in 1978, and she didn't do too badly for herself. So I got a big smile on my face, and I said, hang in there, girl. You're going to do just fine. And I remember calling my agent, and I said, because there's a woman's name on the cover of the script, I would really like to meet her. Because there was a lot of men back in the early days, mostly all men. It was a male show. Women were, we were reactors. JR would do something and Sue Ellen would react. And so I saw Cynthia Seagray's name on the script, and I thought, this is cool, woman. And I'd like to meet her. Because not only was she the writer, but she was the executive producer. So I had my agent set up a meeting with her. I said I'd like to have lunch, and I'd like to sit down with her and pick her brain and say, okay, where are we going? Where is this this woman who's saying, I'll be your ally? Then what? So we had a lovely, lovely lunch, and I said, how well do you know Texas women? She said, I don't. I said, I do. So she was so fabulous and open and receptive. I said, well, I have some ideas. And she said, well, I've got some ideas. And to have someone actually sit there and be receptive and responsive to the things that I thought. It wasn't, I wasn't saying I have to do this, and this is the way I want to play her, and this is what I think. This was me doing homework on Sue Ellen, which I loved.
Nicely
So
played.
how- so-
Nicely played.
So how has Sue Ellen changed, if at all?
Oh, Sue Ellen has drastically changed, and you will see her evolve over the 10 shows. I'm very proud of her. Because I had to do homework. I wanted to do homework. That's how I work as an actor. I wanted to get in there, get down and dirty and dig in the dirt and find out where are you? What are your values now? Where have you been? You were in London with Ian McShane. Do you have any money? What are you doing with your son? How is he shaped up or not? Are you going back to Texas? Do you have any money? Where are you going to live? What are your have you changed? Are you still drinking? What are you doing, girlfriend? We need to know these things. I need to know so that I can bring those new ideals, that new respect for her that I wanted, and make sure that she was a different woman. So I took her all in. I laughed because I said I took Sue Ellen to lunch. I said Linda Gray and Sue Ellen had lunch. But I did. I go for long walks. I go, well, what would she be? Who would she hang out with? Who has she disposed of? Who has she gotten rid of a lot of hanger-oner people? What are her thoughts? Anyway, so we did all that stuff. We did all the homework, did the little checklist, ticked them off, as Jeffrey would say. Ticked off that little legal tablet. And came up with really a very interesting woman that I feel has still some demons. She's a mother of a grown boy. He's not 7 years old anymore. He has his own ideas. He's not really thrilled about a lot of the way he was brought up. Don't blame him. So I think that when she says in the pilot, I'll be your ally. So why does she say that? I think that what it does for me, and I've seen the pilot, I lived the pilot, is that it piques people's interest. It's like, okay, she's going to be his ally. Show 2, 3, it builds, it builds, it builds. And when he's in any kind of trouble of any sort, I feel she'd step up and be there for him. And, as kids are, maybe he doesn't want her help. Maybe he does. But I think she's a stand-up woman who has some mother guilt that I think a lot of mothers have out there. And she's bringing him back to reconnect with his father. So that's kind of an interesting, they're divorced, and so it's tricky. And that's the beauty of Dallas, because it's like, oh boy, there's JR and Sue Ellen, and they're not together anymore, and the son is here, and they're having conflicts, and la, la, la. So it's perfect, yummy stuff to get into the series. And I love it. And I love the way they've evolved her and taken her from, will you be want to be your ally, to, and you'll see it.
A lot.
And I'm very excited.
Time for one more question.
I was gonna
I
say, a lot
talk
of
too
people-
much.
No, it's fine, because a lot of people are probably focused on how what it felt like to just first step back on the set and be back at South Fork. But I'm curious about that moment where you looked around and felt like, I don't even feel like time's passed.
That was eerily very fast. It was as if, it was seamless, the transition. It's been 20 years. And that seamless move from the past to the present, driving down South Fork Driveway, being in the city of Texas, immersing yourself in that city, it was as if it happened a month ago. Becoming Sue Ellen. So interesting how time just, it shrunk, it just evaporated. And it was right back there, it was palpable. And driving down the South Fork Driveway, I joined the Dallas Museum of Art, went to the Opera House Symphony. The Arts District is magical. And that's where Sue Ellen would live. That's the pulse. I have friends that are CEOs, women friends who are CEOs of their companies, living there. So it's a palpable feeling this time. It isn't like Sue Ellen, the victim. This is Sue Ellen, got a hold of her life. And she's not perfect, but she's a woman to be dealt with.
Linda, did you get a chance to get together within the last 20 years, the three of you, outside of everything?
Oh, yeah.
How often? What was that like? What
The
was
three of
those
us,
like?
have been friends for 35 years, and that's why it was so important that this was a series that we could be proud of. We didn't want to just do it to be doing it for the sake of doing a series. We didn't want to. It would be better to just walk away and say, wow, it's a great series that we were privileged to do. This is different. This is, Patrick lives in Oregon, and Larry and I see each other. We talk to each other every other day, and we see each other maybe lunch twice a month. And when Patrick comes down from Oregon, we always get together. So we've seen each other through, deaths and births and divorces and marriages and all kinds of things, and now we're all grandparents. And it's the most delicious relationship because there's a lot of businesses, I don't care whether you work at the bank or supermarket, wherever you live, that you're still friends with people you worked with 35 years ago. That's rare, and we honor that, we respect that, and we're very blessed.
Thanks so much.
Just for the time being.
Is that it? Is that enough? Did I talk too much?
No, perfect.
I'm so sorry that I talked a lot.
We interviewed Will Smith this morning for his new movie.
Whoa.
No, randomly, out of the blue,
Oh.
he started talking about how he religiously watched Dallas when he was growing up. He wanted to live at South Fork. He
Brought you up.
He brought you up.
Oh, my God!
Just out of the blue, and I told him at the end of the interview, I said, I'm going over to talk to Dallas people today, and he thought I was joking.
He was shot at Spain.
My
It's not Spain,
God.
everybody, all over the world, people.
Yeah.
When I was in England when it was like,
Yeah.
nobody went out on Saturday night.
That is Will Smith.
But we have to move on, and you probably have more people to
Thank you very much.